Yeah.
Are you seeing the world through rose-colored lenses?
I'm trying to.
It looks like.
I feel like as far
good.
as I can get with seeing through rose-colored glasses is to have rose-tinted lenses in my glasses.
But does the world look more bright and airy to you?
I want to say yeah, but I'd be lying. It looks like
because at some point it just becomes your new normal, right? And then you don't really
get
notice
used to
that it's
it.
different. Yeah.
But I got like prescription in these heat wave babies. Heat wave send me glasses, but then I go to because I got knocked out in Vegas and I went blind in one eye, and they were trying to make me go to hospital, and I was like, nah, mate.
Nah, mate.
Just give me that oxygen thing and I'll be fine. And then sure enough, my eye came back, but it was a little blurry. So whenever I do the eye test for motorcycle license, when you fail 9 times, and I did the eye test 9 times, and this eye was super fucking with me. Like, not cool at all.
But you failed it 9 times?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a motorcycle.
How do you get 9 tries?
Oh, I came back. I didn't get 9 tries. They gave me... You get 3 tries every time you try it. So I failed 3 times. Then I go back in the line, sign up, do the test, talk to the lady.
But every time you go, they mark like, yep, he was here once.
Yeah.
And he was here again.
And then on the 3rd time, you get 1 shot. You don't get 2.
I see. Yeah.
So then I have to make an appointment and come back another day and then do it again. So I did that 3 times and I failed the written over and over and over.
Oh, the written. I thought you were talking about the eye test.
No, I passed all of it.
Okay, I thought you were telling me that you were having eye problems, and the eye test was the issue.
This eye is. Every time I do the test, where you
but
look
I didn't
at the
understand
thing,
that it was
when they go close the good eye, and you got to look. I'm like, dude, please make it. Like I'm super focused. Yeah. Kind of like, do you see Tiger Woods get a DUI and the cop test him, dude? Like, to be that out of it, like I guess he was asleep in his car, so I kind of at least he wasn't driving it. But when they said, the cop says, state the alphabet clearly and slowly and with no singing, like do not sing it.
Yeah.
And Tiger Woods goes, okay. And then the cop goes, what did I just say? And he goes, don't sing the national anthem.
Harsh.
And I'm like, whoa, that is a wasted reply. And he's doing like the wobble thing, like trying to hold him. I'm like, this dude's one of the greatest athletes. You know, whatever. He's not, it's golf, but he's still very balanced. And just watching him use all his athletic ability to not.
Are you saying that's how you felt trying to pass the eye test?
Yep. Exactly.
Is that where you're going with this?
Yeah, because I'm like, wait a minute. I am hyper focused on this eye catching a letter.
Before I had LASIK surgery. Welcome to the show, everyone. By the way.
Welcome to the
I feel like we just abruptly went into our conversation. But I
play that bit and then do the intro and then do the welcome.
Well, that's going to be up to the editors.
Editor guys, ladies and guys, check that out. just a comment.
Welcome to the show again.
Yeah.
Hey, you're talking about the eyesight, passing the eye test. Before I had LASIK surgery, my eyes were just on the verge of not passing.
Does it hurt to get LASIK surgery?
Does it hurt? I did a long time ago.
Does that mean that it would be more painful?
It was probably more intrusive then.
Like when you get a knee surgery in the 80s, knee surgery.
Yeah,
now?
It was more like for about a week after. It was just annoying. It just felt like my eyes kind of had dust in them.
Okay.
So it was just
for a week,
a nuisance. At least 3 or 4 days.
Could you notice immediately that you could see better?
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
So.
Oh, I'm getting it.
Like what I said was, I could barely pass the driving test if I went to the DMV and I memorized all the lines by squinting.
Yeah.
Right? I squint the whole time I'm in line. I'm just focused on the.
I tried that, but
that's
I don't have
it. That's all I'm doing.
So I forgot when I got
I'm focused on them. I'm like, all right, okay. And then as I get closer, it's a little clearer. And so I kind of got them dialed. And then when they pick which line, I'm like, okay, I got it. But there was no way.
Can't see it.
I could see. It's one of those things where you see obvious letters
Yeah.
that you know, but certain ones just bleed into the others.
Q's and
yeah, whatever it is,
O.
Q's and O's, yeah. And so I ended up passing it every time. But what I was going to tell you is I went and got LASIK surgery. I walked out. They put these like sort of fly goggles on you where they bubble out.
Yeah.
They have holes in them so that you don't mess up nothing touches your eye.
Okay.
They're more protective. And I walked out and I could read the street sign across the street.
And you couldn't before, no way.
No, not a chance.
I think it's...
And I was like... And I went to reach for my glasses to take them off.
Oh,
because I'm used to wearing prescription glasses.
Yeah.
And then I didn't. I was just like, yes!
Oh, man. That's a good story. I want to do that.
But that was a long time ago. And ever since then, they've definitely... It's lessened the effect.
Can you get it again? You can't, huh?
If I get it again, then I will lose either my nearsighted or my farsighted. Do you know what I mean? I kind of have to let one go.
Yeah, so nah.
Or I could do one eye one way and one eye the other. Or I don't know.
What the hell? So you
I
only
had a
get
good
one
run.
shot?
I had a good run. What's
you
that?
get one shot?
I think it's just because you get older and then it starts to, like, if I were to get it now to be able to see far away, then I would have to wear glasses to read stuff
right. Okay.
close by. But
not that bad.
That's just our age too, so whatever.
Yeah, I think I might look into that because I'm not going to give up on getting my motorcycle license. I'm just going to like really study. I got a test that I was studying, and I guess it wasn't.
Yeah, but we're talking about tests. We're talking about a written test now.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the driving thing.
Yeah.
That's the worst part about it is I know how to ride a motorcycle. I understand the laws of riding a motorcycle on the road, but they've got those weird questions, where, like if you get a flat tire, like how do you
common sense questions?
Is it?
I don't know. That's what our driving. We had driver's ed in school, and they'd always be just think about the most common sense answer.
Okay, well, if you pop your front tire, how do you slow down? And their reply was to lean on the front brake. And I'm like, you would never do that. That's a for sure drop the bike, eat shit.
And that's the answer?
Yeah.
How do you know that's the answer, though? If you got them wrong.
Because I got it wrong 9 times. It shows you after you get it. And I'm like, at one point I was like,
okay,
you guys are wrong.
Hold on.
You guys have a question that is incorrect answer.
But okay, now I have questions. If you got it wrong and they showed you which one is the correct answer.
Yeah.
And then you got it wrong again.
Yeah, I can't remember anything. In my fucking
and you
head.
got it wrong 8 more times.
I can't remember. At one point, I swear to God, I was oh, that's the question. So I'll do the brake, the front brake. And they're like, no, it's the back brake. And I'm like, wait, that was you guys.
Wait, so is that the answer? Is use the back brake, right?
Yeah, but no, I think it's both brakes softly. And I'm like, no. I would never use the front brake if I got a flat.
But I like how you remember that question so vividly.
Because it changed.
And you reject.
They changed the fucking answer. They did. I swear to God, there's a lady in the back. Fucking.
There's no way they changed
bullshit.
The answer.
They hated me. I got fucking discriminated. They did not want me to have a motorcycle license.
You guys are some overlord that's like in the ear of the guy marking the. He's like, don't give it to him. Don't give it to him.
Yeah. I'm gonna get it in another DMV. You'll see. Because those guys have got it in for me.
Wow.
I'll sort you out.
Hey, fellas, this episode of Hawk vs. Wolf is brought to you by our favorite producers of ball trimmers, Manscaped.
2023, it's on the way, and the last thing you want is to be the guy with the pubes getting in your way of making it your best yet. The Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 is the leader of Performance Package 4.0, or as I call it, the perfect package for my package.
You're supposed to make that sound like you're not reading it.
Well, I can't read good, so that's what it's going to sound like. Okay. Engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focus.
Wait, start that again. Manscaped engineered.
Thank you. What he said, it's the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on the unintelligent. You want me
to take that one?
Functionality. No, I'm going to get good at it. Intelligent functionality and an incredibly comfortable grooming experience.
This new year, shave the loose pines off your wood with the best tool for the job. The signature lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped is here to take down every pube in its path.
Man, you get the small words.
You got a short one here?
Having trouble with the wild weeds in your nose and ears? I actually do. Manscaped has you covered. Their weed whacker will change the game for you to whack your worst weeds.
Well, I think confidence is going to be key in 2023. You know what else I'm confident about? What? Smelling like $1,000,000. You asked and Manscaped answered, introducing the brand new Manscaped Persevere Body Wash and Persevere Cologne.
Talk about being clean, feeling and smelling good. The new, come on.
Persevere, I just said it.
Persevere Body Wash.
You know what persevere means?
Don't give up.
Yep.
From Manscaped, solves all 3 of your perfect additions to your daily grooming routine. But in the shower, but in the shower. I can't read. This body wash has a light, woody scent and is infused with aloe vera. I know what aloe vera is. And sea salt, to keep your skin feeling clean, nice, and moisturized.
Good job.
Moisturized. Thank you.
The new Persevere Cologne is like the body wash with a light, woodsy scent that answers the call of the wild by leaving you smelling like a man forged from the earth. It is also cruelty-free, dye-free, paraben-free, and vegan, so you know you're in the right hands while smelling right.
Get 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com/hawkwolf.
Again, that's 20% off with free shipping by going to manscaped.com/hawkwolf.
Oh!
Should we say this last line together?
What?
Ready?
Happy New Year to your balls. Burnouts. I already did a burnout. I did a burnout in your parking lot. Sorry.
Because you got your car back.
I did. I got my car back. It's a very big day. I did not think that I was getting it back ever kind of thing. I was like, because there's a lot of damage, might have to order stuff. And I'm like, I know what that means. I just wrote it off.
Yep.
And I've been driving my wife's car. And my wife's car, it's a nice car.
But it's not your car.
I fucking hate it. She doesn't listen to this show. It's the worst car. It's so little and low to the ground, and it's like rickety.
I feel you on that.
And because it's little and low to the ground, it's like kind of a girly car. People disrespect. I swear to God, guys, you treat women differently than men on the road. This is my opinion. Because you see that car and you're like, oh, girl's car. And I'm like, no, I'm the fucking alpha in this fucking freeway. Don't ever think that you can fucking push me around. But now that I got my fucking cat back, people know because I pull in front of you and it says, nah, mate. That's what
I see.
Recognize
flexing
that it's not going to happen.
Yep.
I'm in charge. My freeways.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. I decided that dead people can see me.
Wait.
I'm not religious.
You mean the dead? You see dead people?
Yeah. I don't see them, but they're watching me.
Why?
Because they're trying to take care of me.
Is this the Thor thing?
I think it's a part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
The Thor thing.
That's how you put it earlier. So.
No, that's cool. The Thor thing. Yeah. I don't care. It doesn't have to make sense anymore. I just think that people are watching me. I was told that, and I feel
and are they rooting you on?
Yep.
Or
yeah,
are they
telling me to not be
just judging you quietly?
NH told me to not be such a bitch and fucking harden up.
And does that sound like her?
Yep.
Well, okay.
Yeah. So I agree. I started listening to Pantera again. I haven't paid attention to Pantera for a long time. But before Phil lost it, he had some motivational songs that were... I forgot my attitude back in the day where I was kind of confident all the time. People were like, you're not going to make that. I'm like, you don't know me, motherfucker. And then
you would play Pantera?
Well, I remember I made a deal with myself in a parking lot in a gas station where it was the Vulgar Display of Power, and I forgot the name of the song. I think it's walk. I don't know, but that's why I've got determination tatted on my back. Because at one point he just said, he has like a couple of lines about making his own way, not listening to anybody. I vacuum the wind from my sail, and no one can piss on this determination. And I was like, no one can. Right, determination is what, because you're not that smart. But if you if you never give up and you're just like possessed,
sure, then
you're gonna make it. And I remember like I was gonna go back to America. I'm not gonna give up because I'd been 3 times, and that's when vert skateboarding really died. When I became like top 10 in the world, and they were like, "Dude, we can get you some boards, but that's kind of it." And I was like, "What? What about all the people that had the cars and shit?" I'm top 10. No one cares. And I'm like, no one cares, really, after all that time? So, but I remember back in Australia, like working and going, no, this is not going to happen. I'm going back and I'm going to make it. So I think it was the 4th time where I actually, Element sponsored me and were like, here's $700 a month. And I'm like, I'm set.
Yeah.
I got friends. I sleep on their couches. I got $700 for burritos, Chilitos, because that shit was still out.
Those are cheap.
They were fucking, right? You could get a lot of Chilitos.
Yeah.
You were never starving if you were just living off Chilitos.
Yeah.
So I forget about stuff like that. I think I've lost some confidence from the Sirius XM thing and then being open about the sexuality thing. I've been getting a lot of heat for that lately. And then my mum saw all the people that were, being negative about
abrasive.
It. And she texted me and said that she thinks that I should stop talking about it. And at first I kind of got it like she was saying that because she doesn't want to hear me talk about that.
Uh-huh.
But I think really what she meant was she doesn't want me to talk about it because she doesn't want me to deal with all the hate because she knows
I would hope that that's her intention, yes.
Right. But at first I kind of took it the wrong way because I was looking at it in the car driving and I was like, wait, what? You too? I'm like, this is what I am.
No, she's just trying to help.
Right. All right. So, yeah, it was mixed emotions. But then I posted something and there was just like so many people that messaged me saying, don't ever answer to any of these people and you help me. You know what I mean? I'm married and I told my wife and we've got a better relationship, or I didn't, you know what I mean? I finally admitted to my family and they're happy for me and things have never been better. Like a lot, like a way more than the person that said, stop talking about that shit. You're not funny anymore.
Yeah. But those voices are loud. I know how it is.
Right? It's so embarrassing to.
It's like a heckler. Like you just can't.
Right. I hate knowing that I'm like, dude, write that off. Like, who is this person to you? Think about all the things you've done. Fuck that person.
Right.
But I'm being honest.
That stuff's hard, man. I mean, I think that I got steeled to that because I would get so much shit to my face as a kid, as a skater, as a whatever skinny trick robot skater.
Too many tricks. That was your.
I got so much grief, but I hardened up from that, and then when it came time, then it was like suddenly I was thrust into the spotlight, like after X Games, video games and stuff, and then there were people talking shit online or in magazines, and I was just like, it's not gonna kill me anymore because I already experienced all that firsthand.
You remember thinking that?
Kind of, but it was just kind of like, oh, what, that's just how it goes, and then came social media and the firestorm of criticism. And I was just like, dude, I've already been through it. Like, I don't, but I didn't have to, like, it wasn't that I was hiding something or coming to terms with something like you have.
Right. Because I think the difference is
that light. Yeah.
With your skateboarding, you have the utmost confidence in what you're doing. And with my sexuality, I'm not that confident about. I'm like, is this right to keep talking about it? Like, I make people uncomfortable, and I don't know how to. Like, this is me.
Well, it's tricky, but it also it's your truth, and so you got to speak your truth. But I'm just saying that I understand how it gets challenging for you now because this is all new territory,
right?
But Pantera.
you can't piss on my determination.
I like how you went into the guitar mode. Like immediately there was a guitar. That's so sick. Was that a chord? Was that a Pantera chord?
I know how to play that song too.
So great. Oh man, I wish I played an instrument just so that I would go into that.
Dude, that's what I was when I was listening to it, because I know that you were going to have a band on today, and that like as
they're
soon as
coming.
you
They're
get out of
come.
hospital, you were singing and sitting on a stool. I'm like, man, we should do a song, but a song that is unlike us.
You mean cover a song? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
What are we going to cover?
We're really old and we still want to skate.
What are we going to cover? Resnos.
My knee hurts and my arm hurts too. Like just complain about injuries. Oh my God, who's behind me? I can't turn around. Like just hell. I crashed my car.
And then just go and determination.
Just end with determination.
That's the chorus.
The lyrics.
Determination. Determination.
You'll get it.
I'm onto something.
You are.
Yeah. Here we go.
That might have been anybody out there that has musical ability, and you can rip that. He just did the chorus right
Speaking
there.
of music and metal, you'll like this one a lot. Metallica has the All Within My Hands Foundation.
Yeah.
We got to go to their event in San Francisco a few years ago. I brought all the kids up there.
Yeah.
It was sick. Acoustic. Metallica.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
With Cage the Elephant.
Who?
Cage the Elephant band.
Okay.
That was like their opener, and they played, you know a couple of their songs probably, but each event they honor someone that does charity work, and they're honoring me next week.
What?
Yeah.
Metallica is?
Metallica. Yeah.
What the fuck? Are you fucking seriously
I'm totally
serious?
Yeah. And I'm sorry I couldn't extend tickets to you.
I'm okay, but oh my God, dude, really?
Yeah.
They're gonna honor you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I know you.
Actually, when this airs, it will have just happened.
Oh my God.
It's amazing, yeah. I just got the run of show, and it's like they don't say when my thing is, but they talk about their foundation because they do a lot of charity work, like really, really good charity work.
Yeah.
And then it says Metallica set 1. And then something about a PSA or something they show on, then Metallica set 2. Like it's a private Metallica show. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
I know. I know.
I can't get jealous of you. I'm not jealous of you.
And all I can tell you
fucking
you were definitely one of the top people I was going to invite. My Sunrise is going.
Hey, this is fair.
They only gave me 2 tickets. They were sold out from the get-go, and it's $1,000 a ticket.
Oh, wait. So how many people are in there?
I don't know.
It's little.
It's the Microsoft Theater in LA, like downtown.
Oh, so it's like a big crowd.
Yeah.
So are you going up on stage?
Yeah. And I don't know if I'm going to use my crutches. Like I'm just now sort of testing out the cane.
Yeah.
But I'm not that strong right now to be using a cane. I don't know. I'm a little nervous about that.
Because if you have to go more than to the stage and back off the stage, it's going to be
awkward.
Right, because you're going to have to take breaks, right? On walking, do you stop?
No, I'm just not as strong on the cane.
Oh my God, Dave Metallica's gonna.
It's crazy,
gonna be on
man.
stage and they're gonna be like, "Hey man, look."
And then they're gonna auction off my skateboard, the last one I was riding, like live on stage.
They're gonna all 4 of them.
I don't know.
Know you. And they're going to be like, yeah, man, Tony Hawk. And you'll be like, yeah, Metallica, I am Tony Hawk. And they'll be like,
I hope that's how it goes.
We honor you. What the fuck?
You look back and,
yeah, I honor you too. You should do a song with them. Get up there and fucking rack out some...
like Jack Black?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What song would I know? Like...
Well, don't do Sad But True because you got the wrong words for that.
Maybe they'd allow me to riff on it. Don't do that. Sacred Truth? You guys, we're going to kick into Sacred Truth?
They honor you and you sing their song with the incorrect lyrics. I honor you too. Megadeth or whoever you are. Like,
James is just like,
Sacred Truth it is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah. Sacred Truth.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Holy shit. So, are you going to get like a Metallica plaque or something?
There's not a lot of details given to me about it.
Is anyone else getting honored?
I don't think so.
Dude.
It's crazy.
Dude.
Thank you.
I've lived to see it all.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm super excited. I mean, I would have gone to the event anyway. Even if I was sitting in the back with no mention of me, I would have been like, yeah, I want to go.
Yeah. I can't believe it.
I knew you'd be stoked, but I didn't expect this reaction.
I swear it's making me verklempt. I can't believe that. That is the coolest thing that can ever happen to someone. There's no cooler thing.
I did get to when they played at the X Games. Were you there at that year? When they played in Austin?
Nah.
So they played at the Austin X Games one year.
Yeah.
And it was when I was still doing commentary for them. So they had me fly to San Francisco and interview each of them. Separately. Yeah. And that was fun, but I could tell that they were not that stoked on it because it was just an all-day affair for them.
I mean, dude, interview after interview, you get...
Please.
Yeah.
But, I was still out of my mind, just like, okay, what am I going to ask him? I don't even know. SiriusXM
got me passes to Metallica at the Palladium, I believe. Something like that. But they were like, we got you an interview with Lars. And I was freaking out. Yeah. I think you were there. It was the day you told me, dude, the LL Cool J interview, you just heard it in the car or something.
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm telling you, man, that interview is like Howard Stern's Girl on the Speaker. Like, that is a huge moment. And I was like, man, I feel better now because I just felt like
because it was kind of combative, right?
Yeah, he didn't like me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not trying to be offensive. What's happening right now? Yeah. And I needed to get his nuts over and over again. I was like, I don't want to get your nuts. What? Why do I have to get your nuts? And then I got told before I did the interview, right before I walked in there, everybody in New York is listening. So I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, I'm not
all the studio heads.
I'm not saying you don't need to do anything. I'm just saying all the people in New York are going to be listening. And I was like,
so was I right about that summation about the interview?
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, because
everybody heard it, and
it was a thing. It was one of those things where all of a sudden we were up here.
Yeah.
Because it got out. And it was before things got recorded and put up on. If there was video of that would have been another level because he was in another studio. But at one point, somebody was Googling me for him. So he was analyzing me on the internet.
Oh, shit.
And as soon as he started doing that, that's when I was like, have you ever been in a movie where you can't shave your head? Because I didn't know how to say anything insulting back. I had to do it indirectly. Like I had to, you know what I mean? I was trying to fuck with him, but I couldn't just say, shut up, bitch, I'll knock your ass out. I was just like trying to do, and he was, nah, man, you need to get the balls. Stop and get balls. Fucking come here, you bold prick. I want to beat his
How
ass.
do you feel about him now?
I would fight him if he wants to.
You mean you're...
I'm not a fan after that.
Animosity.
Yeah, there you go. I got animosity coming out of my eyes, but...
Because I love LL.
Yeah, I don't. That crushed me. I was like, you know what? Because I was trying to say... I said you're like, because he just got out of his record deal that he'd been trapped in. Mm-hmm. You're like the hip hop Prince, and he's like, nah, dog, I don't be wearing assless chaps. Get these balls. I'm like, what?
Oh my god!
I was saying you're like Prince.
I mean, what a compliment.
But he flipped it into I was calling him gay, and I'm
harsh.
like, man,
that's a bummer.
Maybe you are.
Maybe he was in a bad place.
That is a good point, but I don't know. He was trying to say it was energetic. And at the end of the day, it was very entertaining.
But we're talking about Lars.
Yeah, so Lars, I interviewed Lars at Metallica in a green room, and I could tell he was sick of it. Like, I don't know this dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And I think I said he was getting bored, and I was like, I heard that you sold some art or you bought some art, like $1 million painting or something. And he's like, oh, good for you, man. Somebody get this guy a toaster. And I was like,
oh, that's harsh.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I look forward to the toaster, but I didn't mean to do that.
Oh my God. I
did that with James Hetfield too. I interviewed him on the phone. And I don't know how it happened, but he thought I was talking about his butthole, and he did the exit only, brother, on me, and I was like, I'm not asking you about your butthole. Oh my God, I've insulted James Hetfield. Worst interview ever. Hated myself for like
You're just
6 months.
Tripping up on all your words.
Because it was
those guys, Metallica.
Yeah, those guys make me nervous.
Yeah, I understand.
So yeah, I don't want to go. I don't want to meet him. I'm like, you guys are cool.
Yeah.
They'll be like, fucking, what's with the weird dude? I interviewed Kirk, and Kirk liked me, and I didn't put my fucking foot in my mouth, and he liked Wolf Knife clothing.
Kirk surfs.
Yeah, he told me.
He has a reverence for skating too.
Right.
Those dudes, like they had Zorlak model. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, James skated too.
Yeah.
I think he broke his wrist, and that was kind of like, people were like, hey.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Let's not skateboard so much because you're in Metallica. I'm like, that's a pretty good argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, so congratulations to you, and I can't wait to hear about, just try to remember, I know you're punchy too. If anything happens where he says something really cool to you, remember it, because I want to hear it.
Okay. I'll have to dig up that interview for you. It was actually pretty good. The interview that I did when I did interview them, because they were obviously, they were over it, but they were engaged at the very least. And I had enough, I don't know, I had enough connections in terms of our lives to, with people we know and stuff, that I could at least lean into those.
I think it helps when you're interviewing somebody who's just doing interview after interview, and you're someone that they are aware of, and you're not a reporter, you're an athlete.
It was super easy with Robert because I'm a massive, what's it called? I can't think of the name right now.
Infectious Grooves
fan.
I love that shit.
Yeah. And
Me
so
too.
when I started talking about that, he's like, oh.
Oh, he gets surprised that people know him for...
I mean, I'm sure that he hears it enough, but probably not from Metallica fans.
Right, which is... Yeah, because I remember he was in Suicidal too. I was like, no way, you got him? Like, such a good idea. Yeah. I was pumped from the get-go. He seems a lot more down to earth. Not trying to shit on the other guys, but he just seems
but also really... I mean, obviously, he came from Suicidal. He did Infectious Grooves, obviously in the skate scene.
Yeah.
At when it was underground. So that was a pretty easy interview.
I've seen him at Venice a couple of times. He's always upbeat and friendly.
He's cool.
Yeah.
I was quoting. I was even quoting some of the like skits on the Infectious Grooves tapes to him.
Oh,
he got pretty excited. Yeah. Sarsipias.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. I played on stage with him once.
Really?
On the big day out, I think. Yeah, you can skate. Jimmy Wilkins asking if he can skate. Yes, he can.
Wait, should we point a camera at him? No,
I dare you.
And he's gone. Jimmy Wilkins just knocked on the window, asked if he could skate, and
I love how he asked me.
We said okay.
Yeah, we did.
Yes,
it's good background sound.
We should just get him in here. Want to just get him in here?
I know, right? That would be a sick interview. He's the greatest vert skater alive right now in the world today.
Do we have another mic?
In my opinion. Oh yeah.
We can just pause and put another mic on.
You sure you want to do that?
I don't know.
It's a lot.
Okay, it's take your.
We'll
just get him on another show.
Yeah,
I can take a hint.
Might be a good idea.
It's a lot. We gotta like plug the thing into the board.
I need another camera.
Would we? Yeah. All right. Next time.
It would be better if we got.
Well, we'll do it. We will get him on.
Okay.
So how's this? How's this? If you're watching this on YouTube, comment what you would like us to ask Jimmy Wilkins.
Ooh.
There you go. I flipped it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done.
I guess sometimes I got ideas.
Me too. Oh, shit. So, yeah. What else is going on?
I went and had my follow-up appointment yesterday with my doctor, and it's all good so far.
Good.
He finally, all my bandages were covered. I didn't know what anything looked like on my leg for almost 2 weeks.
So you saw it.
And so he just peeled them all off, and I have zip ties. Zip ties.
in your skin.
Yeah, they're not stitches, they're not staples, they're zip ties, and they will just come off.
Wait, but when they pop off, that
yeah, they'll just come off. I don't know.
They'll just fall out.
That's what he said.
I'd never heard of zip
He's
ties.
like, yeah, I never seen him before.
Plastic?
And I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 7 holes. 7.
7 holes of zip ties?
Yeah.
Plastic
7
ones.
separate holes.
Are they like zip ties? Like
they look like zip ties.
like
yeah,
normal ones? Plastic
I don't
ones.
know. I mean, that's just what they call them. They're weird.
Yeah.
I can't explain.
Not
it.
staples.
No.
I didn't know there was another version
They're
of
plastic, but I'm just saying, like I literally have 7 holes in my leg.
Did you know that they did that?
No.
Yeah. Me neither.
And so now they're uncovered and they kind of catch on my pants.
Oh.
Which is kind of weird. But he said that's kind of annoying, but if they come off, and that's fine.
Okay.
So, but I didn't get x-rays because it's still early on. So I have an appointment for right after Christmas. And he said, if the x-rays look good, then no more crutches. Holler.
Yeah. I think it might be after you get that thing good enough to walk around on, I don't think it'd be a bad idea for you to just pop into Colombia real quick and get some stem cells.
Okay.
I'll
take that into consideration.
Yeah, you should take it into consideration. Legitimately take it into consideration. Okay. Don't just blow me off.
Rooftop's doing that in Tijuana.
Yeah, good for him.
Did you know that
I know
exists
about the
there?
Tijuana place.
You do?
I've got friends that have gone there.
And?
It's good.
Okay.
Bioaccelerator is better.
But it's not the Columbia.
It's better stem cells.
The amount of pain that you guys look like you were in directly after the injections looks like it's next level.
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think
you don't think just in hindsight you're looking back on like, yeah, it wasn't that bad.
No, the face was, but I wouldn't do that. That was more for a video, and then halfway through it, I was like, no one even cares what I do. I went too far. And I don't care about my head.
But that's where most of the pain was.
Fuck yeah.
I thought you did it in your legs.
Yeah, and they only one time did it hurt. I got both ankles, both knees, and my shoulder the first time. And one of the knees, when it went in under the kneecap, it hit a little nerve thing, and I was like, oh, don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah. But it was like 5 seconds, and then it's out.
But I thought it was the amount of fluid was just problematic.
You mean the next day when it's sore? Yeah, it's not. It's sore. Like, I mean, I don't have to take a painkiller.
Okay.
I did because they gave them to me, and I was bored in Colombia, so I was like, yeah, I'll fucking eat one. But it wasn't. That was kind of exaggerating. Okay. But if you got one thing, one leg,
yeah,
then, and it's not in your joint. That was the other thing. It was the knees were. The next day they weren't working very well, so it was very difficult to stand up, and it was both of them. So I didn't have, and both ankles, so I didn't have any good body parts to stand up on.
I had nothing solid.
You know what I mean? Like if I just had one ankle, I could have kept myself balanced, but all of them were fucked. I don't think it's. I would go like I'll go with you to get it again, and then the other
just
thing
for fun.
No, I'm not going to lie. It's not fun, but I'll go because I know that what they're doing.
How long do you have to stay there after?
It's 1 week. So you get the shots, and then I think it's like 4 days of they put you in the hyperbaric chamber, and you just do, and they give you some fluids, and then they'll give you
so gun shy from all that.
They'll give you the IV, which also doesn't hurt, where they put millions of stem cells in your bloodstream, and it like gets you kind of rejuvenated from the inside out, and then like 3 months later, you already notice it. I just feel like you're getting older. I know you want to skate. I know you love that you want to keep going. I know that you've got that thing where it's like, look, when it all falls off, that's it. It's the end of the day. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough. But this will make you a better skateboarder.
Back time.
You kind of can. It's not exactly that.
Okay.
And I know I'm crazy, but Andy McDonald did it, and it worked for him, right?
It absolutely worked for him.
So that's,
and he is not the guy that I imagine would do experimental treatments.
It's not experimental.
No, I'm just saying, you have to go to Colombia to do it, so there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, because of the laws here, they won't give you the,
okay.
the
It's
good
not.
stuff.
It's not experimental. But I'm saying there's.
But it really works.
Okay.
And I think you should do it.
All right.
I'm not gonna give up.
Okay.
I just think
Thank you.
you'll be like, dude. In 6 months after you get the shot, you'll be like, dude.
I'm just so I've
you.
already said it before, but I'm so gun shy on treatments because I did everything else and my bone never connected. So
Right.
there are.
But I don't
things-
think if you had got stem cells and the bone wasn't connected, it wouldn't reconnect it. It's not that much of a miracle drug. But if
All right,
it's
well,
on there,
I'll hit you up when I know that my bone is in one piece again.
I thank you. I love you, dude, and I want you to be.
I appreciate it.
And I feel like if you go there, you will thank me. That's all.
Okay, I appreciate it. Honestly, it's not even the. It's not
And
even
we
the,
could do a show there.
It's not even the treatment. It's more the. It's the week. Like that would be really hard for me.
Yeah, that's
a week.
I get it. When I had a job at Sirius, I was like, I'm going to Colombia for a week, and they're like, how are you doing that? I'm like,
Yeah, good luck with that.
I'm taking my vacation to Colombia.
Right.
But all in all, when I add up, going traveling, you travel so much more than I do, but it really wasn't. The hotel's in the place where the hospital is. So you get your room. It's nice. There's food. And if you want to go out, then they take you places. They usually take you to places before you get the shots.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because when you get the shot, Colombia is very hilly. And whenever you want to see something cool in Colombia, it means you're going to be walking up and down a lot of stairs. So that was kind of that never added up to me.
No.
Like my wife was with me and it was just her and I. So I want to go on the helicopter ride. I'm like, yeah, look, I'm not going to fly you all the way to Colombia. Watch me get injected and then watch me just zombie out on the fucking bed watching TV for the next 2 days. I'm like, yeah, we're going. And I did it. Did it hurt? Fuck
Yes.
yeah, fucking hurt.
Yeah.
But she was happy. At one point, I was in the helicopter and I was like, I'm not in that much pain. Do you want to walk up the hill? And I was like, yeah. And inside my mind was like, fuck no.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I would be.
Right, but I walked up.
We're not going up the hill, right? We just came to see the hill. Is that what we're doing?
No,
that hill is sick.
The helicopter ride where they land, they go, there's this other thing, this castle thing, you can go up there. And I was like, how many steps is that castle thing? That might be the dumbest thing you can do after stem cells. But okay, let's go up there.
Kathy and I, we went to Ireland over the summer before my speaking gig tour, and then we stopped at this one castle like that, and I realized very quickly, I mean, I was walking by then, but that's when that was when my bone was misaligned, but it had not been diagnosed yet. So I was just in pain walking all the time. And then we park, and I'm like, we're not even near the thing right now. Yeah. And it's all uphill. Yeah. Is this what we're doing?
I feel like, because you're in the same position as me where it's your wife and your wife is
you didn't come to Europe to watch me do talks.
Right.
Yes.
Right. You're coming with me, so I'm going out of my way to show you a good time.
Yeah.
Because obviously this is a me show all the time.
Right.
So I was in the same position where
but also she was very concerned. It was always like, because she loves walking and hiking and stuff. And
Katie was the same. Katie kept giving me, she's like, you don't have to go. It's kind of like when she drinks, because she doesn't drink very much, especially now that I don't. But if she ever gets a drink, she always asks me first, which is...
Like, is it okay?
Yeah. Like, are you going to be okay with me having a glass of wine? And I'm like, yes. Because I think at the start... I'm still going to let you... I'm not saying no. That's insane to me.
Yeah.
But I think for the first couple months, when she did have a drink with my friends, I was like, cool.
I get that.
You guys look pretty loose. Look like you're having a better day than me. But now, I'm like, if I can have 5, I don't care.
I've been on antibiotics for a while now, and I do miss a glass of bourbon.
Yeah. Well, how long until... off antibiotics?
I got to go a month.
Whoa. Yeah,
because they something came back positive that they weren't quite sure if it was real, and they do the tests. It was like a topical thing on my skin, and it came back as positive. But the way they run the test, they're like, it could very well be a false positive. But even if it is a positive, it's like the most low grade infection you could have.
Okay.
So we're just going to put you on antibiotics. Okay. And then the antibiotics they put me on is for a month.
Those are heavy. That's a heavy dose.
Yeah, it sucks.
How's your stomach?
It's fine. I'd take everything else to counteract it.
Because I had antibiotic. I'm on them too. I stopped doing it for my eye because Dr. Drew was like, just in case, I would take them because you don't want to get an infection in your eye socket.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, no. When you put it like that, it's pretty easy to take them. But they fucked my stomach up a lot. Every now and then I do the poopy vomit feeling. Like if I do a poopy, it makes me think I'm going to vomit. And I'm like, when you're on the bowl, you're like, where am I going to hold a trash can?
You call that run and gun.
A run and gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured I was too old for running guns, but apparently not.
I had a run and gun when I had food poisoning in Brazil, my first trip there. Like it was never going to stop. It was crazy.
What, how long for? Like a day?
Well, it was, so Lance and I, was our first trip there. And I actually get asked about this a lot when I'm
Just
there.
you two?
Yeah. We were the special guest, this huge demo in Sao Paulo that they rented a whole venue for, put up a vert ramp just for us, but also the local skaters were going to be there. And they put us in this kind of janky hotel. I remember we had dinner there because we didn't have a ride or anything. And I got spaghetti. And I remember, this is such a weird thing that I remember, but I remember kind of feeling like someone was watching me when they served it. And then I look over and I could see the waiters kind of like looking over.
Dude.
You know what I mean? Like they did something.
Oh.
And I was just like, oh, that seems weird, whatever. And I ate it. And then that night or like throughout the night, the next morning, just like problem. Like really nothing I've ever experienced, where I was incapacitated and we were supposed to skate the next night.
Oh shit.
And I was like, I couldn't move.
Right.
And they're like, you got to come to the venue. I'm like, I was like, I'll never forget. They brought me there. I'm freezing. I'm shaking like this the whole time. Like always looking for a bathroom because it was so desperate. And then they made me get up in front of the crowd and tell them I'm not going to skate. And
like,
Lance,
here's the microphone.
Yeah, and so me and Lance are there, and then they go, well, can you go with him, Lance? He goes, what am I going to do? And they go, well, I just say like you'll skate extra hard to make up for it. And he's like, cool. So we go up there, and I say my thing, Lance says his thing, and then I'm like, I'm really, really sorry. I wish I could skate. And then they all start chanting, "Son of a bitch."
What?
In Portuguese.
What the fuck?
They like literally were chanting, and then I went back. I'm like, "What are they saying?" And then the organizer's like, "Nah,
doesn't matter.
Yeah, don't worry about it." And finally, I asked them when they're like, "Oh, they're saying son of a bitch," because they thought it was my choice. Like they really were like, "Oh, he doesn't want to skate. He's just being a bitch."
Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't. And then, I mean, I've told the story in various ways, but they took me to a doctor, which was just a dude in an apartment with injections. I'm out of it. I'm so out of it. I'm just like, I don't care what happens. I could barely function. I barely remember getting to the car or getting anywhere. You know what I mean? I was in such delirium.
But they took you to a doctor that was a dude in an apartment.
Dude in an apartment.
Not in a hospital.
Had vials, gave me shots. I went back to the hotel, finally got to sleep without having to rush to the bathroom. So success, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Finally, for the first time, like I just went pee and nothing else came out of me.
Oh, man.
So that was like, there were these small victories along the way. And then I lay down and then I got lockjaw. My jaw clenched up and I could not open it because he had dirty needles. It was fucking sketchy. Like the whole thing was so sketchy.
What does a dirty needle do?
It whatever it is, I can't. I don't have all the medical.
But an infection.
Know-how. Yeah, it's something like that. But somehow it affects these muscles. And then I was like,
for how long?
Through the night, and then this gets so
Lance
weird.
See you like that?
What's that?
Did anybody see you?
Yeah, well, I was with Riley's mom.
Okay.
So she was there in the room with me, dealing with all this.
Okay.
And it was was drama. It was, and she knows what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Like, and then finally I like got my mouth open. Oh, so it kind of like it relaxed a bit. Oh my God. But it would. I could feel it. I could feel it like sort of bubble up again every once in a while. So I figured out how to sort of relax it and let it drop. It was so weird, and I don't. And also, we're just stuck there. Like,
yeah, did you think about going to a hospital?
Well, the organizers would say they're coming, and then they would show up hours later. And that was just someone told me back then. They're like, "That's just how the way it goes here."
Not anymore, though, right?
No, but I don't know. But they're just like, "Oh, someone said it to me," and I'm not trying to stereotype. Someone told me this. They're like, "Well, that's the manana theory." They just like, "Yeah, whatever, we'll be there." But I was in such dire straits that I needed help.
Yeah.
So. Fast forward to the next night, I'm finally able to function, kinda, and I go to the venue. I'm still like, I feel like I'm in space, right?
Yeah.
Like my head is fucked, and I still know that there's this weird thing going on with my jaw. And so I saw a picture of this recently, and it reminded me, that's why. So then I'm backstage. I can tell that I'm probably going to be able to skate. Because it's a 2-night event. Sorry, I didn't say that.
Okay.
It's a 2-night event. So people bought tickets. People bought tickets to one or the other nights.
Okay.
So whoever bought tickets to the first night did not see me skate, including Lincoln Ueda.
He bought tickets.
He was a kid.
Oh, that's
went to the thing.
And he remembers and told you this.
Yeah.
Did he call you a son of a bitch?
I don't know. I doubt it. I don't know. I never thought of that.
Like, were you
joining? Yeah. Hey man, crowd mentality. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, knowing Lincoln, no.
I don't think Lincoln's ever called anybody a son of a bitch.
So I go there. I'm doing interviews, and I'm not kidding. My mouth starts to go like this because whatever it is that's clenching my muscles has moved to this.
You're turning into the Joker?
Yes. And I do all these interviews. Like that face. Yes, like that face. And with that face, and I saw a picture recently of me doing an interview like this.
And no one...
I don't know. They don't... I mean, we already got a language barrier for every interview.
Yeah.
Right? But I remember looking over at Cindy, and she's like... And I was like, I don't know. I have no control over my face anymore.
Yeah. Did you skate?
Yeah.
What the fuck? With a Joker face?
No, it finally calmed down. It was like whatever I was doing the interviews, that's what was triggering it. I can't explain why. I don't know. And like all of it's so strange.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I got lucky because if I was dealing with whatever dirty needles and lockjaw, like that could have gone south.
It could go to your heart or something.
Yeah.
You think?
And I remember skating, and I remember feeling like I was just in a daze the whole time.
Could you skate?
I skated, yeah.
Like decent.
Yeah. It was almost like that was the time I felt normal.
When you were on the ramp, because you were so in the zone.
I was finally like, oh, I know how to do this. Right. I can do this. I can't function otherwise.
I can't talk.
I can't talk. I can't, like, my jaw's not locking up, but I can ride my skateboard.
Holy
absolutely.
Shit. Were people happy the second day? Was there any...
Yeah. I mean, I saw a video of that not too long ago, too. Someone videoed the whole thing, and I watched it, and I was like, oh, it's skiing good.
Yeah.
Like, it was good enough.
You've been back, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you didn't...
But, so it's funny because that was such a formative time of skating that only the hardcore skate crowd was there. It wasn't like I was some known name outside of the circle of skateboarding. And skateboarding, in Brazil wasn't huge, but they were hugely passionate about it. So whoever was there is probably still in the skate industry. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So every time I go to Brazil, someone says like, "Oh, dude, I was there,"
and
you know what I mean. Someone that I'm working with.
You're a son of a bitch, or
no? They remember it. Right. And then so the next day they brought us to this one bowl. I can't remember the name of the bowl. I apologize to the Brazilians out there, but you know which one it is. It's like a figure 8 bowl with a shallow end and a deep end.
Yeah.
They brought me and Lance there. I'm not kidding. This is how it was going, like in terms of timing there and what people would say to you. They go, it's 45 minutes away. Okay. It was 3.5 hours away.
What the fuck? Why do they?
It was literally 3.5 hours away.
Why do they do that? Why would they just say
it's like they want to, it's like almost like they want to tell you, they tell you what they think you want to hear.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What is happening?
Yeah, because I mean, I've had that experience through the years too. I had it. I remember in Buenos Aires, like in Argentina, they were going to do a demo, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the ramp's almost done. The ramp's almost done." And we're like, "Okay," and we were supposed to. This was our time to practice.
Yeah.
And then they kept putting it off, and we're like, "Well, are we going to practice?" Yeah, it's almost done. Let's go over there. It's almost done. We go there. Half the ramp's built. There is one wall up. Like, why would you bring us here?
Yeah.
You know, because it's just like they just want to put you off. Like, no, it's good. We're good. And I'm like, but you're just lying. Like,
when you were getting driven 45 minutes and it took 3.5 hours.
At some point, you just give up. It's
did
just
you
like,
say
whatever.
something?
Like, what?
Say, hey, is everything okay?
Oh yeah, it's just up the road. Just coming. You know?
Oh, like,
and then I'm in the car with Lance, and Lance is just like, what the hell is going on, dude? But at some point, you just resign to this is how it is.
Did that make you not want to go back?
No, I think if nothing else, it made me want to go redeem myself.
Wow. Because you missed one demo.
Yeah, I still feel bad. I have literally missed a handful of demos in my life.
Right.
Truly.
Yeah, I've seen you do a demo where I don't know many people that would have done that demo.
I did.
Like shoulder out. I feel like
I rolled my ankle in France so bad that I was convinced it was broken. Like in Lyon, I was like, oh, it's broken. I broke my ankle.
Yeah.
Went to the hospital, x-rays, language barrier, not broken. I sat out one demo. I remember exactly I remember the layout, the town, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Frankie Hill skated, Bucky skated, and then I skated the next day.
Frankie Hill skated the vert ramp?
No, it was just like a bowl with the street stuff around. It was a sketchy concrete place. I can't remember. And then the next day after that was they had a half pipe on the beach in Biarritz, and I was like, I'm not missing that one.
And you just taped it up or something?
I don't think I was that resourceful back then.
I did a tour once by myself to Costa Rica.
Yep.
Just like some deal where they were like, yeah, man, we totally want you to do demo. And I was like, hell yeah. Like no one ever asked me, especially by myself. I would love to do that. And I get there and it's just like skater dudes that have picked me up at the airport.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. I'm like, we just got to go to this friend's house real quick before we drop you off. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, so what hotel am I in? I'm like, oh, no, it's not a hotel. It's kind of like, it's a vacation home. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then you drive into the woods for like an hour and a half and in the dark. And I'm like, what the like, are they going to murder me? Because we are in the middle of nowhere. There's no houses. It's a dirt road. And then finally we stop. And because it's dark, I can't see anything. It's just trees. There's fucking trees everywhere. Yeah. And then there's a little shack in the trees. And they're like, here's your vacation home. And I'm like, vacation home. And then I'm like, so I'm in this by myself. I'm like, where would I get food? And they're like, oh, no, so-and-so's living here with you. So it's his fucking house. Of
course.
And
nobody's on vacation.
No one. I don't know where you would go from this house. But in the morning, I wake up and it's like almost a tree house. Like it's in this dense jungle and there's no windows. There's just openings in the house and the table has a tree in the table and there's a fucking spider in his web in the tree on the table. And I'm like, I'm not even inside. This is like a wall around a tree. And that was my place where I stayed. But I drank back then, so they had rum. And I was like, I love rum. Awesome. It's like a pirate. Give me more rum. So I got really drunk and started talking to the spider and had a great time. I also did a 540 there, and people came up to me on the deck and said that it was the first
in Costa Rica.
Yeah, first
Sick.
5 in Costa Rica.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was pretty pumped. Those little things that you don't forget. Where I was like, "Am I?" Nice.
Yeah. There was a minute of life, like 2001, where I was doing the first 900 on certain continents.
Right.
That was pretty exciting, including Oz in Melbourne.
You did one in Melbourne?
Yeah.
What ramp?
At that big event they had, the probably the Globe or something.
Hardcore ramp, yeah.
Hardcore, yeah. No, not the hardcore ramp at the distribution place. It was actually a big contest. It's the one where Bucky won.
Oh, the big ramp with the roll-in?
Yeah. What did Bucky win? What did they call it? He like a mini truck, but they call it something else in Australia.
A mini truck?
What do they call
a ute?
A ute. Bucky won a ute? Yeah.
Sick.
But he couldn't take it home.
I was going to say.
He couldn't take it home.
It would cost twice as much to get it.
They expected an Australian to win.
Oh. So what happens? Who gets the ute?
I don't remember what happened. We should
Give him
ask
some
him.
Money?
I can't remember.
Man, I won.
He got it, and then he did burnouts on the flat.
So he owned it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. He did burnouts because the contest was over.
I remember you saying I was the 13th person to do the loop, and you're like, but it might be Bam. And I was like, it's probably me. Fuckhead. Get the fuck out of here. I did it before him. I won the Australasian high air contest, and if you win it, you get a $3,000 and a trip to Brazil. And shout out to George Powell and those guys for flying me around Australia to win this contest, because it was a bunch of different contests and it was like an overall. And I could smash it. I could do a 10-foot method here. So I was just like, shut the fuck up. Like, give me the trophy.
Yeah.
I think Adam Luxford might have been there for one, and he can fly. Yeah. So I was like, uh-oh. But I think maybe he was having a bad day or something. I don't know how I got it. But I got it. And I got this trophy, giant thing, wooden block to here, and then this big metal skateboarder guy. I'm like, dang, I don't even know where, like, that's going to my parents' house. I'm not bringing that to America. And I'm like, $3,000 a trip to Brazil, though. I remember people saying, watch out when you go to Brazil, because you're
because you might get food poisoning.
People that not food poisoning, a worse disease than that. They're like, maybe you shouldn't go because you can't keep your thing in your pants. And I was like, relax, I'm gonna be fine. And then turned out they didn't give me the money, and they didn't give me a trip to Brazil.
Oh no!
And I remember thinking, I'm okay with it, but George paid for numerous plane tickets around Australia for me to do this thing where, in the end, I don't think anybody saw it. Like, I'm not sure what that was, but that was like the last. It was a guy that was running the big day out, so I'd known him for over a decade. And when they didn't have it, I was like, you know what I'm doing? I'm going back. Fuck you guys. Like, skateboarding in Australia, really, guys? Like, really? You all got, like, not to mention there was 20 other people that flew around the country also to compete for nothing. Yep. It was just like this real, oh, mate, the thing is, and I'm like, the thing is. Yeah. The thing is, you suck. That's what the thing is. Yeah.
I have a it's kind of a horror story like that. Oh man, we got to bring Mike Frazier on here to get all the facts straight. But he and I and Matt Hoffman flew to Lyon, France, to do a demo in the dark days of Vert. Okay. So 91, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah, it got worse then.
90, maybe. Let's see, 93, 94. Yeah, somewhere in like that, 94. Yeah. Because we got invited and they're going to pay us, I don't know, $300 maybe, something, Yeah. So definitely less than 500.
All right.
But it was 500. Whew, party time, right? So we flew there. We go do the demo. Matt Hoffman dislocates his shoulder in the demo, trying to kill himself for whatever, And it was a decent crowd, like. It was, it was because it was dead. So we were just like, we don't even know if there's a crowd.
Right.
So then, what happened? First, they had booked our flights for the day they had booked our flights home for the day we arrived. They screwed up the date.
Okay.
And then we figured that out as we got there, and we're like, you guys, they go, oh, sorry about that. And then, so we go to try to change it, and we have to pay, which is at least as much as we're making.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, we're not paying to change the flight that you screwed up.
Yeah.
And there was a standoff.
Like, the first day you got there?
Yeah, first day we got there, and it was kind of like, we're not going to even skate until you figure this out.
Yeah.
So it took a while. They figured it out.
They paid for it.
They paid for the flight change.
Okay.
But this also means that, well, I'll explain that later. So then we're done skating. I'm not even exaggerating about how this looks. We go in the back and Matt is holding his shoulder that is out of socket, right? Yeah. Because we're trying to get paid. Because we already got a bad vibe from these guys.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, well, you know, we had a wristband for everyone to get in when they paid, and everyone faked the wristband. So we don't have any money. So we're going to have to send it to you. And Mike.
Send it.
Dude, Mike's the best. Mike's like, you're paying us right now. We are not leaving. Matt Hoffman is standing here with his shoulder out of socket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you're paying us whatever it was, $400 or something.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we don't have it. We don't have the money. Everyone snuck in. I'm like, not everyone snuck in. Like, that's just such a lie.
Yeah.
And there was a standoff. I think we just started getting a little more aggressive. Fraser is just not having any of it. So he keeps upping the anger level, which he should. Yeah. And Matt is just, fuck, like, this hurts. And then suddenly they bring in these manila envelopes, like big envelopes that are stuffed with the equivalent of like 1s and 5s. I go, what is that? And they go, well, these are the people that did pay. This is the money. This is all we have.
How much was it?
I think we ended up getting pretty much what they were supposed to pay us.
Okay.
But it was from the people that, like, most of the people paid. They just were using that. Yes, some people, sure, they faked it and they got in, but whatever it was. So we finally got the money. And then we still have another night. They have not booked us a hotel for that night.
They never would. You can't do this now. I think skateboarding's too official now.
So we take a train.
They got Tony Hawk.
We take a train to Paris because we're like, maybe we can find someone that skates that would like put us up.
Oh, they're saying no room.
They're like, what you got to. Our flight was out of. Here's what it was. We changed our flight. We had to be in Paris that next morning. Early.
Okay.
So it was like, you guys just got to get to Paris.
You guys just got to
figure it out.
there.
Yeah. So we get on train to Paris. We literally go to a skate spot.
Yeah.
That we know in Paris.
Yeah.
We know a skate spot. And there's dudes skating there, and we finally befriend one of them.
Did you befriend them thinking, I'm going to try and stay at this guy's house?
Yes.
Was it all three of you? Wait, is Matt?
Yes. No, he got his back in.
Okay. I was going to say.
I think Matt figured out his own trip, so it was just me and Fraser.
Oh.
It was just me and Fraser.
Matt figured out how to get out of there.
Yeah, or they definitely like finally acknowledged that he was hurt and that they should take him to the hospital and figure that shit out.
Yeah.
I can't remember the specifics. Fraser would know all this stuff. Oh. So anyway, we go and then we're like, yeah, what's up? Oh, cool. And can we stay at your place? Because this one guy was hyped to see us.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I guess so. I think basically he had bunk beds in his brother's room.
Yeah.
He's like, I guess we could see my brother's room. Okay. Is that cool? Yeah, cool. And then we stayed at this dude's house and caught a flight the next morning.
In bunk beds in a dude's house?
In bunk beds, yeah, in Paris.
Did you meet the parents?
Yeah.
Did they make you food or anything?
I don't think they did. No.
Right.
I think we actually ended up going out. Like there was just kind of, we had to do something.
Yeah.
So we went out. There was this, I can't remember. I think it was called the Chicago Pizza Place. People will know what I'm talking about. But there was like this American pizza place in Paris.
Yeah.
That was like the hot spot.
Okay.
And so we're like, let's just go there just to have something to do.
Yeah.
So we went there and like had pizza and had a couple drinks and then went back to the bunk beds. Went to sleep.
Dude, skateboarding back in the day, because I have...
And then we came home with whatever the equivalent of $40 in francs in small bills.
So how do you...
We just exchanged it at the
Oh, at the airport?
Yeah.
I did a demo in Tasmania. Do you know what Tasmania is?
I went to Tasmania once.
With
Bucky and Frankie Hill.
Whoa!
And we skated a jump ramp. We literally skated 2 jump ramps.
Okay, good. That's Tasmania, because I did a demo. I showed up to a bowl where the friends that drove me there said the person that put the concrete in was not a skateboarder, and I guess they walked off after they set it and it dropped. So the transition was just really tight at the bottom. It didn't make sense, and there were a big back then, especially for one guy, like over 500 people all circling the bowl.
Oh my God. And
I walk up with my pads and stuff, like, all right, man, like I'm gonna show you guys how it's done. And I walk and look in there, and I'm like, wait. This is not what I thought. I might be able to grind it by the end of the day because it seemed so impossible.
Yeah.
And I start skating it and I'm carving around and I'm like, this thing is so bad. I don't know what I'm going to do here to like get anybody happy. And then some kid screams out, 540. And I was like, really? You do a 540 in here?
Could anyone skate it?
No one did anything. I grinded it. Then I was the best guy.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, what was there to compare to? Was anyone else like? Was there a local?
There was
like,
no local that could do shit.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just like we heard this was the spot, so here you go. But I do the demo. I don't know what kind of a demo it was, but I tried as hard as I could. Sweated my t-shirt out. I don't know what I did in there, but I know it wasn't great. Maybe a body jar like this high, where I just and it was everything I had to make it.
But they were hyped on it.
Nobody was bummed. Yeah.
Okay.
But then they want to put me in a hostel
in Tasmania.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't feel good about that. And I remember the guy that was driving me. He had Slayer tattooed on his forearm, and this was back before tattoos were cool. Like he had it, and I was like, That's insane. Hardcore. Yeah, you're a crazy man. And it's like, well, so and so has a house, you can stay with him. And it was like some young skate rat, and he was like super pumped on me. So I was like, yeah, I'll hang out with him. I get to his house, and he's a single parent. He has a dad. That's it. And his dad's a chef, and his dad's an alcoholic.
Harsh.
So the dad is wasted. Like, I don't know how many bottles of red wine, but he just keeps pouring them the whole time. He's cooking us some food. And I was like, oh, cool. And then the whole time he's cooking, because it's just like one little room, kitchen, and then the living room, and I'm sitting in the living room, he's telling me how much skateboarding makes no sense, that there's any ability in it. It's not really a sport.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, I mean, some people could say that. And I'm looking at little buddy, and little buddy's like,
yeah,
my dad doesn't really like it.
This is what you get.
Yeah, and I just like ate food and watched this drunk dad tell me how useless I was until I went to bed. I was like, yay, Tasmania.
He's probably not any kinder to his own son.
That's what I felt.
Yeah.
But I also feel like that kind of helps people skate. I know that's stupid.
What was that ramp in Australia where they put the top transition piece on upside down? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
What? Is it Pizzy?
Pizzy Park. Oh no, with the
giant kink.
With the lip, yeah.
Yeah, because according to what they told us, I went there with Lance. Yeah. According to what they told us, they put the ramp was in sections for the framing, and then the top frame they put on upside down.
Yeah.
So it went vert and then.
I would take off on the kink instead of the vert, because the kink was so big that I would just ollie off the kink.
Yeah, it was.
But I love how you said Lance and I went there. Like, I wasn't there, and that was so legendary because I'd skated it.
Yeah.
And then the photos of you doing stuff in certain pockets of that
and
bowl.
Then isn't there a marsh nearby?
Yeah.
So this was the. I think I told you the story.
You didn't go in there.
No. But I must have told you the story. It was right after the '96 X Games when I ollied off the street course into the canal.
Yeah.
In Providence.
Yeah, they told you to ollie from the bowl into the canal.
Jump in the water. Jump in the water.
Give me a helicopter and maybe I will, because that's not possible.
Well, also, it's like 100 feet away.
Yeah.
But there was one dude. There's always just one dude, Australian dude, posted up that wants to heckle, and it was that dude, and that was his line the whole time.
Yeah. He's probably still saying it.
Jump in the water. Every time I drop in, I'm like, yep. Like, tail grab 541 footer.
Yeah, 1 footer. Yeah. That sounds about right. Australia.
Good times.
Yeah, so there you go.
Down under.
We're starting a band, and we're doing a tour in Australia, and It's gonna be big.
And we're gonna just show up at skate spots and sleep in people's houses.
Yeah, that could be a cool TV show.
That's our reality show.
We go to skate parks and be like, hey man, love your skateboard. Who do you live with? Parents, girlfriend? Hey, we were thinking about crashing. Yeah. Like, what's the angle to get somebody to go for that?
I don't know.
Man, I'm tired.
We have a podcast.
You don't have a place for me to sleep, do you?
We're going to do that for our listeners.
There you go.
Coming to your town soon.
Yeah.
Like, describe, and get a bed ready.
Make sure your mom or your dad is a good cook, because I'm hungry.
Okay, see ya.